ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्यं नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरये। नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवति उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी। Today we are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 15, The Killing of Dhenuka, the Ass Demon, text number 22. Falani Tatra Bhurini Patanti Patitani Cha Santi Kintu Avaruddhani Dhenukena Duratmana. Falani Tatra Bhurini Patanti Patitani Cha Santi Kintu Avaruddhani Dhenukena Duratmana. Falani Tatra Bhurini Patanti Patitani Cha Santi Kintu Avaruddhani Dhenukena Duratmana. Falani Tatra Bhutani Patanti Patitani Cha Santi Kintu Avaruddhani Dhenukena Duratmana. Dhenukena Duratmana. Matajis? Falani, the fruits. Tatra, there. Bhurini, very many. Patanti, are falling. Patitani, have already fallen. Cha, end. Santi, they are. Kintu, however. Avaruddhani, kept under control. Dhenukena, by Dhenuka. Duratmana, the evil one. Translation purport by the disciples of Srila Prabhupada. In that Talavana forest, many fruits are falling from the trees, and many are already lying on the ground. But all the fruits are being guarded by the evil Dhenuka. Purport. The demon Dhenuka could not allow anyone to eat the delicious ripe palm fruits of the Talavan, and Krishna's young boyfriends protested this unjust usurpation of the right to enjoy the fruits of the public forest. Om Ajnana Timirandasya Jananjana Salakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deenabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Taptakanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gauravakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nanda Gopakumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha Nama Pankajanabhaya Nama Pankajamaline Namaha Pankajanetraya Namaste Pankajangraye. Hare Krishna. Today we will be discussing the killing of Dhenukasura. So in the previous verse, the word Premna is mentioned. So in this regard, Sri Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur comments that actually the coward boys, they are great lovers of Sri Krishna. So they don't have specific desire to eat these tala fruits, palm fruits. Actually, they are by inducing Krishna to kill Dhenuka, and they actually wanted, out of love for Krishna, that they wanted to feed Krishna. Right? They wanted to feed Krishna. That is why they are actually, otherwise they are not interested for their own self enjoyment, like that. So, this killing of Dhenukasura represents, right, different anarthas in our heart. Like in Vrindavan, that is a speciality of Vrindavan. right? Yadgatva nivartante tadhama paramam mama. So whoever comes to my dham, they will never go back. So all the demons, whoever has come, they never went back to Mathura. Right? They all came from different places. They wanted to kill Krishna. But instead, Krishna killed them and sent them to either Vaikuntha or Golok Vrindavan. Right? But Kamsa never came to Vrindavan, right? Kamsa never came to Vrindavan. That's why he could not go back to Goloka. He could only get Sarupya Mukti. So there is a reason. Once he was sending demons, many demons, and they are all getting killed. So one day Kamsa himself came. One day Kamsa himself came. And then this Purnamasi and all, they are there. And then Kamsa asked Purnamasi that, where is Krishna's house? Right? Where is Krishna's house? And, you want to see Krishna's house? First in order to go to Krishna's house, you have to take bath. So Purnamasi took Kamsa and dipped him in the Yamuna. And then he became a very old woman. Kamsa became a old woman, and all the things. And then all these ladies, the gopis and all, they started pulling his hair. They started pulling her hair and pulling his leg, this and that. So he became very frustrated. Then he said, no, I don't want to go to Vrindavan. Please, leave me. Then Purnamasi took him in and dipped him in the Yamuna. And again he became Kamsa, and then he ran away. So that is why Kamsa could never come to Vrindavan. But all other demons. So Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he described the various demons and the anarthas they represent in us. Right? How many of you know? Anybody? Have you heard any time? Huh? So first demoness was Putana. Putana represents false guru. Then next is Shakatasura. Right? Shakatasura represents anyone else? So false knowledge, false knowledge of identifying oneself with the body. Right? Trunavrata, false pride. Right? Aghasura. Aghasura represents cruelty, the personified cruelty. And then Bakasura. Bakasura, false representation of religious principle. Damba, Mithyachari. Right? And then our great Dhenuka. And carrying the burden of false karmas, and the most important is Lobha. What is he doing? What is the definition of Lobha? Right? Actually, the donkeys, they don't eat tala fruits. Right? They don't eat tala fruits. But he is simply accumulating, and then he is not eating, and then he is not allowing others also to eat. Right? So this is the quality of Lobha. Like Lobh. These people who are actually influenced by greed, they don't enjoy themselves. They simply keep counting the cash all the time, every day. This much is there, this much is there. And they don't give it to, they won't enjoy, and they don't allow their members also, family members also, to enjoy. And then that money rots in the bank or whatever. And then his family members and all, they are always praying, this fellow, Lobhi, when he will die so that we can enjoy his money. And then we have this example of Avanti Brahmana. Right? Avanti Brahmana. So like that, all this, Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, Mada, Matsarya, if you, like Kama, what will be the effect of Kama, how it destroys? we should read Ramayana. Right? How Krodha and envy destroys a person, we should read Bhagavatam, Mahabharat. So like this, all these, various bad qualities, actually Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, we should actually try to destroy all our bad qualities by practicing Krishna consciousness very seriously. And sometimes it takes, it seems, one bad quality like kama, it may take 7 lifetimes. Srila Prabhupada said, don't think that, simply by hearing your lectures, they will give up lust. They will give up association with women. Right? It will take 7 lifetimes to give up sex life. Then, many times, Prabhupada says, how do you know that we are advancing? Somebody asked Srila Prabhupada. Prabhupada said, whenever the thought about sense enjoyment comes in your mind, you spit on that thought. That day you will become Vaishnava, Prabhupada said. Otherwise, till that time, we are not, we are only Vaishnava Praya, trying to become Vaishnavas, like that. And then Damba, all this, there is one story in Vishnu Puran. Once one Vidwan, he went with his wife to meet another person. He is also a Vidwana, Pandit, but this wife recognized him as a duplicitous person, Dambik person. So she immediately turned her face away, and then she did not speak to him or anything. But this man, her husband, was speaking to him very carefully, very jolly, laughing and joking and all that. Then as soon as they reached the home, she went backside of the house, savastra snana, she took water from the well and bathed herself. And then she chanted, she did achaman and then she chanted mantra, like that. And this man did not do anything. So next, after they died, she became a princess. But because of this, she remembered her past life. And then she wanted to marry only her previous husband only. Because 7 lifetimes, connection. Like that. 7 lifetimes. So she wanted to marry him only. Then she found out, through her Divya Drishti, he became a dog. Right? Then she went and met that dog and then reminded that, you are my husband, like this, like this. Then the dog also remembered his past life, Ayyo, Hatavidi. Then he died. Then he became a crow in the next life. Then that lady again, she saw through Divya Drishti and then said, where is my husband, where is my husband? Then she found out, crow. Then she went and met him, you are my previous life husband, you are my husband. Then again that crow, because of her influence, he remembered his past life. And then he died, oh Hatavidi, kya ho gaya? Then, then he became, peacock. So again she found out that peacock is in Kumbh Mela, right? Kumbh Mela. She went and told him, you are my husband in my previous life, like that. And then she took that peacock in Ganga, dipped, in then Ganga. So that peacock, after that he became a son of a king, prince. Then again she went. There, that king, after a long time, he got a son. So he was doing big yajna, like that. So there, that small boy is there, and then there, Yajnavalkya Muni, Vasishtha Muni, Vishwamitra Muni, they are conducting yajna. So she went and told him that, this boy is my husband. His father has said, what nonsense you are talking, you are so grown up and this small boy, how is my, your husband? No, in my previous life he is my husband. Then Yajnavalkya Muni and Vishwamitra, and they all said, yeah. He, yes, he became a dog, then he became a kawa, and then he became a peacock, and now he became a prince. All because he spoke to a Dambik person. duplicitous person, and then he joked with him. He joked. You can just imagine, Yeah. So that is why satsanga mukta dussanga hatum notsahate buddha. Kirtamanam yasho yasya. Sakrit akarna rochanam. Right? Prabhupada, first canto, one of the verses. So, satsanga, mukta dussanga. We should become free from all this dussanga. Otherwise, we will be affected. Even if we associate with this kind of duplicitous persons, lusty persons, angry persons, will be, in Garuda Purana, it is mentioned, there are 5 Mahapatakas, mentioned by Lord Krishna. One of them is Gohatya Pap, Brahmahatya Pap, drinking alcohol and playing gambling. And then which is the 5th one? One who associates with 4 of these people. With 4 of them. Like that. So, we should actually try to overcome these anarthas. So, how do we overcome these anarthas? Like it is mentioned that what is the... Now we are coming to Dhenukasura. So, Dhenukasura represents false knowledge and carrying the burden of karmas, false karmas and other reactions on one's head. And then Lobha. He represents Lobha. What is the donkey famous for? Stupidity, Gada, right? किसी को दिमाग नहीं बोलते गधा, गधे का बच्चा, ऐसा they give galis, right? Like that. So once there was a donkey, one dhobi, he was taking care of a donkey, and then he has a daughter also. He has one daughter, beautiful daughter. One donkey. So he is living in a kind of town, like that. One donkey, he observed, he became a little bit intelligent, that this dhobi is cheating me because the donkey carries more than he can weight, that much weight, more than his 3 times or 4 times of his body. That donkey carries, and then what he gets? Little bit of grass. Then he found out that little bit grass I will get on the bank of the river. So why should I carry burden for this dhobi? That's why he left, and then he came to village, this town. And then this donkey is his friend in the village. Right? So he went and told him that, you don't have to work for this dhobi. Whatever grass he is doing after carrying all these weights and all, we will get it on the bank of river. On the bank of river. So you don't have to work hard. Then that donkey said, you don't know why am I working hard. He said, why? Other day, his daughter did some mistake. And then he was chastising that his daughter, saying that, Sudhar jao. नहीं तो ये गधा को देके मैं शादी करा दूंगा. So I am waiting when that day will come. Like that. So Prabhupada said, all the donkeys in this material world, they work very hard so that they will get little pleasure. Right? Prabhupada said they travel from Virar to Churchgate and Churchgate to Virar. They work very hard. So that, all this they go through for getting little pleasure. But if he is not providing, this... the Kalaniketan sarees and Tanishq jewelry and all, the wife kicks him. And then he sings, then they sing philosophy. Donkeys also they sing, they sing, they speak philosophy. Like that. So that is why Aristotle said, Socrates said, better you get married. If the wife is very nice, you will be very happy. But if the wife is tuntun, she is very speaking harshly and all that, you can become a philosopher. right? Like that. So that is donkey's one quality, right? One quality, stupidity, working hard unnecessarily. So this fellow also unnecessarily guarding, tala fruits, where, because of which he is killing, he is getting killed. Another bad quality of this Dhenukasur, this donkey, is that carrying the unnecessary karmas and all that, right? Thinking that, my family is dependent on me, this and that, like that. And then it is another bad quality is what is this donkey is doing, Dhenukasur is doing, actually is guarding the tala fruits. That means he is actually not giving the fruits of his activities to Krishna. Right? Krishna keeps on saying in Bhagavad Gita, Mukta Sangha, Mukta Sangha. What is meant by Mukta Sangha? How do you become Mukta Sangha? Right? Remember this two things. How do we become Mukta Sangha? By understanding that I am not the doer. Kartrutva Ahankara. Right? And then giving up the fruits of one's activities to Krishna. If we do these two things, then we are Mukta Sangha. Right? That is Krishna keeps on saying this in Bhagavad Gita. Mukta Sangasya Jayate, Mukta Sangasya Jayate. Like that. So how do we become Mukta Sangha? So we should give up. So this donkey is keeping the fruits of the activities with himself. So Krishna is coming and telling, Sarvadharmanu parityaja mamekam sharanam vraja, aham tvam sarvapapebhyo mokshayishyami mashuchaha. So actually it is, Krishna is saying that I will take care of the reactions. You give the, my sarvani karmani. So it is, that is why, but our donkey propensity is preventing us to give up the fruits of activities to and dedicate them to Shri Krishna. Right? That is why one good thing, like in Andhra, South India, it's very common. Yeah, anything you get a new thing, you keep it in front of Krishna, deity, and then use it. Right? Use it. Like that. Kayana vacha manasindriya buddhya. So that verse is there. That Narayaneti sakalam, Narayaneti samarpayami. So you keep on, anything we do, keep on dedicating the activities to Krishna. Krishna arpanamastu. Krishna arpanamastu. That word should become, your, on your tongue. It should always, anything you take, say Krishna arpanamastu, Krishna arpanamastu, Krishna arpanamastu. Like that. So there is one lady, she has this habit. So Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur writes in the commentary that when you are conscious that you are dedicating all your activities to Krishna, then you become conscious that Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur says that you should not dedicate sinful activities to Krishna. Right? So in the night time before sleeping, if you can do this, whatever I am doing, even the result of our japa also, we should give it to Krishna. Everything, whatever we do, we should dedicate all our activities and results to Krishna, Krishna arpanamastu. And then whatever we accept, we should say Krishna arpanamastu, Krishna arpanamastu. Right? So when we keep saying this, then padartha and prasadam. Padartha means vishaya. So padartha becomes prasadam. So once there is one lady in South India, she has this habit of saying Krishna arpanamastu, Krishna arpanamastu throughout her life. Everything dedicated to Krishna, Krishna arpanamastu, Krishna arpanamastu, like that. Then suddenly one day, on her last day, Lord Vishnu became very pleased. He sent golden Vimana, right? Golden Vimana to take her. So when she saw the golden Vimana, that time also she said Krishna arpanamastu. That also. Then Krishna had to come personally. Yeah? Okay. Because what else? She cannot say Krishna, Krishna ko Krishna Arpanamastu. Otherwise, everything she is dedicating Krishna Arpanamastu, Krishna Arpanamastu. Like that. Right? So, in Bhagavatam 7th canto, so now we are coming to this, Tala, this most important anartha of this Dhenukasura, which he represents, is Lobha. Lobha. It is mentioned that Narada Muni, this 7th canto, 15th chapter, it is instructions for civilized human beings. Right? Everybody should by heart that chapter. It's meant for us. Right? Very lot of instructions Sri Narada Muni gave, for our benefit. So he says that one who is satisfied, he doesn't have to go here and there trying to satisfy lust and greed. Right? Then he says that somebody who is wearing shoes, he is always comfortable and happy, even if he is walking on the pebbles and thorns. Like that, somebody who is satisfied with whatever he has got, he will be very happy all the time. Otherwise, he, whatever he does, wherever he goes, he becomes dissatisfied because of chasing, for satisfaction of, genitals and stomach. For that, he has to become a household dog, at home, trying to do all kinds of things. So, even a great king like Maharaj Muchukunda, he realized that, he conquered the whole world. Right? He says, to when Lord Krishna, he says, my dear Lord, I conquered the whole world. But I am like a monkey, made to dance. Monkey made to dance to the tune of Madari. In the bedroom, like that, my wife used to make me dance like a monkey. So, even if somebody conquers the whole world, everybody outside respects him. But if he has not conquered lust and greed and anger, then he has to suffer a lot. He has to suffer a lot. Like that, so he says, then Narada Muni says that a person who is affected by desires of hunger and thirst and all that, he can be satisfied by taking little water and by eating nicely. One can satisfy anger by chastising that person. But greed, lobha, it cannot never be satisfied. Even if he has conquered all the world, even if he has enjoyed everything in this world, but still, lobha, if the lobha is not, cannot be satisfied. Right? A person who is very intelligent, a person who is a legal advisor, somebody who is a president of assembly, they all fall down because of one bad quality of lobha. Lobha. Then Srila Prabhupada writes in the purport that for spiritual advancement, one should be materially satisfied. Otherwise, a person very intelligent and Brahmana, a devotee, they also will fall down and they lose their positions because of lobha. Right? Because of lobha. So, that is why, so Srila Prabhupada, Narada Muni says, then Prabhupada writes in the commentary that there are two things which destroys a man. One is daridrata. Another is, too much greed for money. So daridrata dosha sakala guna dosha rashi, means daridrata destroys all good qualities in a human being. In Vishnu Purana it is said that we should treat a beggar as our guru. Why? That beggar is coming and when he is begging, give me something, give me something. So what is he teaching us? In my last life, I did not give anything. So in this life, I am not having anything. Right? So in Puranas it is said that jo deta hai, those who give, they only have the right to take. Right? Right to take. So the beggar is teaching, give something to others, So whatever, actually whatever wealth one gets depends on how much charity one has given in the last life. Right? Last life. So if somebody is a lobby, everything he wants to keep it to himself, then he won't get anything in the next life. Very dangerous, right? So that is why Prabhupada writes in the second canto, I think 7th chapter, that if you give 100 rupees to a ordinary man, you will get back 100 rupees again in the next life. If you give 100 rupees to unqualified Brahmana, you get 1000 rupees in the next life. Right? And then if you give 100 rupees to a qualified Brahmana, you get 1 lakh rupees. But if you give 100 rupees to a Vaishnava or a Krishna temple, you get unlimited wealth. You can't, that's why all these Ambanis and they can't count, how much cash is there. Right? Like Prabhupada, Krishna says in Bhagavatam, 11th canto, that those who give a piece of land for constructing my temple, I will make him an unrivaled king. He will become a king of an unrivaled kingdom. Unrivaled kingdom? Like that. Huh? No enemies. Nobody attacks and all that. Right? Like anybody who establishes the deity of Krishna, right? So they will become Indra, like that. So anybody who donates a piece of land, anybody who constructs a temple of Krishna, anybody who installs the deity, he can become Brahma in the next life. Like that. So giving, so somebody is is lobby, he cannot give. He cannot give. So we should. So then Prabhupada says, if you give 1 second of your ear to Krishna Katha, you will get back millions of seconds of hearing Krishna Katha. Like that. So Prabhupada says, for hearing, like one should not be satisfied that how much you heard. You can't say, like that. So Prabhupada says one should have lobha for more and more, for associating with the devotees, for chanting more and more names, right? Like that. That is why it is said that one should be satisfied with 3 things in the life, right? So whomever he gets married to, he should be satisfied, because marriages are made in heaven, bills are paid here, right? So one should not think, oh, I could have married that lady and this lady. So whoever, his marriage is fixed, right? Idhar likha rehta hai, kisko shadi karna hai, like that. So one should be satisfied, right? So one should be satisfied. whatever wealth he is getting, one should be satisfied. And then one should be satisfied, whatever position he is, whichever job he has got, like that. One should be satisfied. But one should not be satisfied with the three things. One is dana. One should not be satisfied, oh, so much knowledge, so much dana I gave, like that. No. One should not be satisfied with how many names of Krishna he has taken. Then one should not be satisfied with how much Krishna Katha one has heard. One has to hear more and more, more and more, more and more. Like that. So, then how do we, conquer this lobha? Right? So, Narada Muni gives, asankalpat jayet kamam. By determination, one can give up lust. You can note it down. One can give up lust. Krodhat kama varjita. So one can give up krodha by giving up envy. Then how does one give up lobha? By discussing the disadvantages of accumulating money. And then one can give up fear by discussing about the truth. Right? And then anvikshaya shokamoho, by deliberating on matter and spirit and the difference, one can give up shoka and moha, lamentation and illusion. Right? That is why Prabhupada says that by reading second chapter Bhagavad Gita, what is the advantage of reading second chapter Bhagavad Gita? One can give up shoka and moha. Then Prabhupada writes in the purport that somebody is very dear to us. If he dies, it causes a lot of grief. But you can by reading this second chapter Bhagavad Gita, Jatasya dhruvam mrityu dhruvam janma mritasya cha, there is no need for lamentation. Right? That is shoka moha. And then dambam, we can give up dambam by serving that is pride, by serving mahat, by serving pure devotees of the Lord. And then we can give up, we can yogan antarena maunena. Means we can give up obstacles on the path of devotional service by remaining silent. Right? There is a very beautiful verse, many times I quoted from Harivamsh Purana, that maunena kalo nasti, nasti jagrito bayam, krishito nasti durbhiksham, japato nasti patakam. Anybody knows? Shloka man, you know this? Huh? Shloka man. Huh? You can say, all of you can say this. Maunena kalo nasti, nasti jagrito bhayam, krishito nasti durbhiksham, japato nasti patakam. Right? Narada Muni says in Padma Purana, he is teaching to Chavan Muni about Grihastha principles, our great brahmachari. He is saying that whenever there is a fight between husband and wife, one of them should remain silent. If the wife is fighting, then husband say, Hari bol, Hari bol. And if the husband is fighting, the wife should say, Hari bol, Hari bol, Hari bol. Then after that, they can discuss. When the husband and wife or anybody is fighting, nobody wants to hear each other, and then, so they don't want to hear, they want to only say, they want to speak like that. So better you keep quiet. After that, make him sit and explain. Right? In order to avoid fighting, what we should do? Should remain silent. Right? By remaining awake in self-realization, one can give up fear. Right? And then, krishito nasti durbhiksham. Means anybody who is working hard, they will never go hungry. Only lazy people, they go hungry, Like Prabhupada says, Bekari se begari acha hai. In Hare Krishna challenge, there is a conversation. Prabhupada says, Bekari se begari acha. Means, instead of sitting idle, work without salary. If somebody is not having a job, they should go to some kirana shop wala and say, no, I will work. You don't have to give salary. Prabhupada said, any sane man, at least they will give food, Right? Nobody will take free service unless politicians and film actors. Right? Everything they want free. Right? Pukat Chandans. Oh, once I approached one very big film actors. Then I told her, why don't you give Kalash? They said, Swamiji, you should give free, Like that, we have to give, we give free only. They were like that. Politicians also, that some sing, Congress ka president, president tha. Every year he would come, do Kalash free, and then go back. He would come with so many people. Right? Some Congress ka president, idhar ka. Bombay unit ka, like that. The whole family would come, do it free. 41,000 they can't give, like that. Anyway, so otherwise in general, we should, like Bhishma Dev says, that one should never take free service from anybody. If you take some service and don't give anything in return, if somebody, the porter or somebody carries our suitcase, we should give 10 rupees. Right? Somebody, like something we should give. Why? Otherwise, we have to become maid servant of that person and jadu fatka lagana padega. Right? Pocha marna padega ghar pe. Right? It's not a good thing. So like that. So, krishito nasti durbhiksham. And then japato nasti patakam. Right? So by chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra, holy names of Hari, one can give up, become free from all sins, like that. And then last, one more thing is there, right? By giving up sense gratification, we can give up envy. Now you remember? By determination, we can give up lust. By anger, by giving up envy, we can give up anger. Another thing Prabhupada writes in 1st Canto, 9th chapter, by forgiving people, we can give up anger. By forgiving people, we can give up anger. That is 2 points. One is, by forgiving people, we can give up anger. By giving up envy, we can give up anger. How do we give up lobha? By discussing disadvantages of accumulating unwanted wealth, right? And then, how do we give up fear? By discussing about the truth. And then, how do we give up shok moha? Yeah, very good. And then, how do we give up damba? By serving a pure devotee of the Lord. And then, by remaining silent, we can overcome the obstacles faced in the course of devotional service. And then, how do we give up envy? By giving up sense gratification. Now I am coming to a very important point. Listen to it very carefully. That by good behavior and then by becoming free from envy, we can give up Adi Bhautika Klesha. Right? And that by deep meditation, Samadhina, we can give up suffering due to Adi Daivika Klesha. By practicing yoga and pranayama, and we can overcome the miseries of Adhyatmika Klesha. By eating properly in mode of goodness, we can conquer sleep. By coming to Rajogun, we can give up Tamogun. By cultivating mode of goodness, we can give up Rajogun and Tamogun. And by cultivating Shuddha Sattva, we can give up mode of goodness, passion and ignorance. then all of this can be given up by serving Srila Prabhupada. By serving the lotus feet of the pure devotee like Srila Prabhupada. See, lust, greed, anger, shoka, moha, envy, then bhaya, adhyatmik klesha, adibhautik klesha, adi daivika klesha, all of them can be given up by serving a pure devotee. That is the significance of Dhenukasura being killed by a Mahabhagavat Balaram, because he is representing Guru. He is Guru Tattva. So he is one way is Mahabhagavat, pure devotee, representing pure devotee. So that is of course another significance is like Maharaj was saying other day that Dhenukasura is coming in the Prahlad Maharaj's Vamsha. So Krishna cannot kill him. That is why he made Balaram kill. That is one point. But this is another point. Unless the pure devotee comes and tells, inspires, we cannot give up our, because we are very attached to the fruits of our activities. That accumulating tendency is so much. We are so much attached to the money, and money is like honey. Prabhupada says, it is the sixth prana. There are pancha pranas are there, right? Money is sixth prana. So in order to give up, protect that sixth prana, people are ready to give up pancha pranas. That is so dangerous, like that. So it is, that is why once Prabhupada, he was giving a lecture in America. One Prabhupada, as usual, he asked any questions. Then one devotee raised his hand, said, Prabhupada, how to become sincere? Right? How to become sincere? Then Prabhupada replied, by becoming sincere. Right? By becoming sincere. Then he didn't understand what is meant by sincerity. Then Prabhupada said, you are wanting to become Krishna's devotee. That is called sincerity. You are wanting to serve the spiritual master. That is sincerity. You are wanting to follow the instructions of Krishna. That is sincerity. Then later on, he became Bhagavad Das. So when Prabhupada met him in Mumbai, that time he was preaching to some life members. Then he told, oh, this is my disciple Bhagavad Das. He wants to be sincere. So he was very surprised. Oh, Prabhupada remembered, long time back, like that. So one day Prabhupada said, his secretary, call Tamal Krishna. Call Tamal Krishna. Then that time Bhagavad Prabhu only, he was preaching in Mumbai city and making life members and all, meeting big people and all. He came. Said, did you see Tamal? No, I don't know. Prabhupada is calling. He said, you want to come? Yeah. So then later on, somehow or other, Tamal Krishna Maharaj and Bhagavad Prabhu, they went. Then Prabhupada was preaching to life members. Right? Prabhupada was preaching to life members. And then he said, he sit. So he said, Prabhupada told, whenever I am preaching to life members and all, you should sit. And then you should learn how I am preaching to all these high-class society people, rich people and, right? Like, so you should learn. Like that. One more time, then Prabhupada was preaching. Hear this very carefully. One more time, Prabhupada was preaching. Then he said, quote these two verses. So Tamal Krishna Maharaj was thinking, Bhagavad Prabhu will quote. And then Bhagavad Prabhu was thinking, Tamal Krishna Maharaj will quote. But both of them did not know. Then Prabhupada took the Gita and then he quoted. Then he said, it looks like you are not reading my books. Yeah. It looks like you are not reading my books. He said, what? Do you know, I myself read my own books and then I learn so many things. Right? I learned so many things. Then Prabhupada said, whenever I sit in the morning to write down, I am not writing. Krishna comes and dictates all these purports. Then I simply write. That is where whenever I am reading again, I learn new things because I have not written, because Krishna has dictated. So all these Bhaktivedanta purports, They were actually dictated by Lord Krishna himself. We should not neglect. That is why Srila Prabhupada said, my only complaint against my disciples is that they don't read. They think that these books are only meant for distributing. Right? So we should make a point to read Prabhupada books every day. So when Prabhupada was a Grahastha, I will finish by 5 minutes telling about Prabhupada pastime. So when Prabhupada was a Grahastha, he wrote down commentary on Bhagavad Gita, some 1000-page manuscript. When he met one Tamilian gentleman, he's a businessman. So he has agreed to print the book, Bhagavad Gita. But when Prabhupada came back, he did not find the manuscript. Then he found out that his wife sold off for Radhi, for tea and biscuits. So Prabhupada was not to be disheartened. So when he went to America, again he wrote commentary on Bhagavad Gita, as it is. Then that time, Allen Ginsberg was coming to attend programs, and then he was very famous, and then he was a very rich man also. He was giving a lot of donations and all. Then Prabhupada told him, he gave him the manuscript, get it printed. Then he was a very well famous person. Then he gave it to many publishers. For 6 months he tried. He could not succeed. Then he said, I cannot. Then he lost interest. He said, I could not print. Take it back. So he gave it back. Then Prabhupada had one more disciple, Roy Ramananda. He said, you try. So he also tried, and then he could not. Then Prabhupada called Brahmanand Prabhu. He said, you print. You print this Bhagavad Gita. So he was thinking, how will I print? These people, Allen Ginsberg and Roy Ramananda failed. How can I print? There is no esoteric pastimes or leelas or all complete pure philosophy. Then how will I print and all that? One day he got a mail order. At that time Prabhupada actually released an album, Hare Krishna Dhun. And it became very famous. And then he got a mail order, post order from Macmillan Company. That they wanted some copies of album Hare Krishna Dhun. So Brahmananda Prabhu went to Prabhupada, and Prabhupada, we got Macmillan Company is a very famous company, book publishing company. So we got order like this. Then Prabhupada very coolly told him, tell him that we have a man, our Swamiji from India, he has a manuscript, he wrote a commentary on Bhagavad Gita, tell him to print. They said, Brahmananda Prabhu said, why, I'll be meeting only the clerk. Who will listen to me, this and that? Anyway, he dressed up nicely, suit and coat and all. He went. Then he met that clerk, accountant. Then he gave him money. So he was settling. Then Brahmananda was thinking, how can I tell this accountant, to print Bhagavad Gita? He was, all mental calculations he was doing. Then suddenly one gentleman walks in. Then this accountant immediately introduced Brahmananda Prabhu to him, said, he is our senior editor, some David or somebody, like that. Then immediately Brahmananda Prabhu got up, said, our spiritual master from India, he wrote a commentary on Bhagavad Gita. Why don't you print? Please print. He immediately, without asking anything, bring it, we'll print. Because we already have some books on Buddhism and Christianity and all. We don't have anything on Bhagavad Gita. You bring it. Without reading the comment, manuscript, without reading anything like that. Brahmananda Prabhu was so excited. He said, he went as if he was flying, He just flew from Macmillan shop to Prabhupada. And then Prabhupada, Macmillan has agreed to print. Oh, he said, thank you. So he was saying, Prabhupada knew already that, this is going to happen. He's very cool. That's how, Bhagavad Gita was printed, Macmillan edition, first Macmillan edition. Then, it was, rest is history, Like, there's so many Bibles and so many Qurans, they distribute freely. But Prabhupada said, don't distribute them freely. They must pay. Then only they will read the books. Like that. So that is that's how this Bhagavad Gita came. And then they have so many stock. Because they are only accustomed to distributing Back to Godhead magazines and small books. So how to distribute these big books? Right? And then all of you know the story, how, one day they were in the petrol bunk, they didn't have money, and then they exchanged. Yeah? So then it became a boom, like so many thousands, and then Prabhupada said, anybody who is distributing these books, they will get millions and millions of upon blessings from my spiritual master. And that one letter, created a revolution in the book distribution, like that. Okay, thank you very much. Anybody has any questions? One thing I will close. Prabhupada said that in the fourth canto, Kumara's teachings to Prithu Maharaj, there is one, Prabhupada writes, one must serve the pure devotee, and the best way to serve the pure devotee is by hearing from him. Like that. Yeah. So we must read, the best way to serve Srila Prabhupada is to read his books.
Hare Krishna. So, you told about the sincerity. So, Bhagavad Prabhu is a very sincere person. Once he came to Bombay, so he met me. So, he told, why you just broke this building? Because all the tenants were living, we broke. So, he took me personally to Mr. Menon's house. That time, Prabhupada was staying in that flat was vacant, and Prabhupada was staying there. So he saw everything, and he was very, emotional. Then he collected bricks, broken bricks and stones, cement, everything, put it in a bag, and he took with him to America. So such is so much grateful to Srila Prabhupada.
Very nice, thank you. Anyone else? Yes, Govind Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Thank you very much for the nice class. You are mentioning about when we give up envy, this Adi Bhautika Klesha is gone. What was that point exactly?
By good behavior and by giving up envy, by becoming free from envy, we can give up Adi Bhautika Klesha. Because, we blame others. Devotees should never blame perpetrators for their troubles. So, if you read the conversation between Gomata and Bull, Mother Earth, she makes it very clear. He keeps on asking, who is the cause of your trouble? Then she makes it clear, no, nobody, my own karma. Like that, if somebody gives us trouble, they are only instrument, but actually our own karmas, we are getting reaction. So by that, we can become free. Otherwise, we will become envious of that person who is giving us trouble, and then we try to react, and then again our reactions, they grow. But if we can understand that person is not, we are not envious of that person, and if that person is not the real perpetrator, our own karma, then we should remain quiet. By that, we can reduce our Adi Bhautika Klesha. Otherwise, because this person is troubling me, so my heart will burn.
Future implications can be stopped.
Yeah.
But we'll have to tolerate at that time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hare Krishna. My question is that there is some natural instinct in a person.
Natural?
Instinct, natural nature. His nature is that he is as such envious, like a snake. A snake is naturally envious. Similarly, a person may be naturally envious from his childhood only. Or there are some inbuilt behavior that he is maybe very critically evaluating always other people. So how to, because people give excuse that, my nature is, like that, so it's very difficult.
Duryodhan, and it is mentioned, Swabhavo Duratikrama. We have certain proclivities, but we should not allow Dushtata to become our Swabhava. crookedness, dushtata. So Duryodhan and Ravanasur, they allowed dushtata to become their swabhava. When dushtata becomes one's swabhava, nobody can do anything. Krishna has to come and kill that person. So before, dushtata becomes our swabhava, we should be careful. Otherwise, Krishna has to come and kill that person. Nobody can.
So how to explain a person who is giving this excuse that this is my nature, or to remain angry, I have this I'm habituated to remain angry only. So there are some people who are calm by nature only, but there are some people who gets easily angry. So now to what level they can control their anger? He cannot be like that person who is very calm by nature only. So how to
There is a saying, whatever swabhava we get at the time of birth, it will go only at the time of death. So Krishna himself says, sadruse chestate swasya, prakritim jnanavanapi, prakritim yanti bhutani, nigrahani kim karishyasi. So everybody acts according to one's nature. So what this repression will help? So there is a lot of commentary on that verse, and so that is in that that is why it is said those who are sincere, unless somebody practices intense devotional service, we cannot give up our swabhava. Intense. He should have the desire to give up. He should realize that I have this bad quality, I should give it up. Then he has to practice intense devotional service. Then only he can give up swabhava. That is why it is mentioned that even up to the point of Mahabhava, Bhava stage, this anarthas still, they are seen. Some lust in some people. So if that person is very advanced, we should not criticize that person because he is lusty or he is angry. Because he is on already Bhava stage, but till Bhava stage also these anarthas, they trouble. So it is there in Madhuri Kadambini. So that is why one should be careful before criticizing a person. Okay, thank you very much. Yeah?
Hare Krishna. So, Prabhuji, in Bhagavatam, so many pastimes of Krishna are there, and third chapter it says Krishna stu Bhagavan Swam. So why Goloka is not mentioned? Only Vaikuntha is mentioned. In Bhagavatam, Goloka, Vrindavan is not mentioned. Only Vaikuntha is mentioned. Why is that?
Not required, because if Krishna is there means that is Golok Vrindavan only, na? 10th canto it is mentioned, na? Golok. There is no difference between Bhauma Vrindavan and Golok Vrindavan.
Does the word Goloka comes in any verse or in the purport?
Gokul, Vrindavan is all.
That we know that
This
Gokul
is
and
called
Golok
this
is
is
same.
called Bhauma Vrindavan.
Yeah, so that we know, Gaudiyas know. But is there any verse where Goloka word comes in Bhagavatam?
Maybe not. Okay, Kandra Srimad Bhagavatam ki. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram.